The Daily Show, an oral history. Oh boy. Jon Stewart's back, everybody. I'm Alex R. Wagner, and this is No News is News.
Right now you're helping the politicians and the corporations, and we're left out there to mow our lawns.
You just said we're too rough on them when they make mistakes.
No, you're not too rough on them. You're part of their strategies. You're partisan, what do you call it, hacks.
Wait, John, let me tell you something valuable that I think we do that I'd like to see you
something
do.
valuable?
Yeah, no, it's
I
nice
would like to hear it.
And I'll tell you, when politicians come on,
yeah,
it's nice to get them to try and answer the question. And in order to do that, we try and ask them pointed questions. I want to contrast our questions with some questions you asked John Kerry.
If you want to compare your show to a comedy show, you're more than welcome to.
Here's the point.
If that's your goal,
no, it's not.
I wouldn't aim for us. I'd aim for Seinfeld.
Here's the problem.
That's a very good show.
Kerry won't come on this show. He will come on your show. Let me suggest why he wants to.
Well, we have civilized discourse.
Well, here's an example of civilized discourse. Here are three of the questions you asked John Kerry.
Yeah.
You have a chance to interview the Democratic nominee. You ask him questions such as, quote, how are you holding up? Is it hard not to take the attacks personally?
Yeah.
Have you ever flip-flopped, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
Didn't you feel like you got the chance to interview the guy? Why not ask him a real question instead of just suck up to him?
Yeah, how are you holding up is a real suck-up. And I actually was giving him a hot stone massage.
It sounded that way.
As we were doing it.
It did.
You know, it's interesting to hear you talk about
I felt the
my
sparks
responsibility to the, you know, I didn't realize that, and maybe this explains quite a bit.
No, the opportunity.
I hate to break it to anybody that's still a Jon Stewart fan. He's not going to save The Daily Show, and I might as well burn that book. We broke this down really well during the pandemic as to the flaws and the issues surrounding Jon Stewart with host Kimberly DePersia back during the COVID times on the podcast Just Headlines. I will link that down below in the show notes or in the description on YouTube. It's a Rumble video only. But it shows you exactly why basically Jon Stewart has leaned woke and he's gonna go broke. And if you've seen The Daily Show lately, it's pretty bad. One of the producers of the Jordan Klepper show at one point during January 6th was acting as though his camera crew was attacked violently by insurrectionists, to which I called him out. And that's another episode that I will link in the show notes. And to call out my last, I guess, liberal challenger, I don't know. I've only voted third party, just to inform everybody. I've only voted third party in all presidential elections. Call me an idiot, call me a moron, but I basically wait until the very last second, look at all candidates that are on my local ballot for president, Google them all equally, and see which one the vote matters most for, or what I value most. And in every case since I've been 18, every third-party candidate that I've voted for has said, hey, we're mostly campaigning to see if we can get ourselves on the ballot in all 50 states. And so basically since 18, I've been saying that a double Trump-Biden president run is a bad idea. But nobody's listened to me. Instead, I've just gotten nothing but hate. But hey, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm still doing the show. That's why we're going to do this whole thing together. But yeah, I got that one last liberal, I guess. Liberal. The liberals are after me. Harry Sasso. This little, I guess, like, everybody, his big claim to fame was, he's been getting a large number of people on TikTok. I'm sounding like the press secretary. You'll understand later. But he has a large following on TikTok during the pandemic 2020 election. I remember him being whiny and annoying, and I think that most of his fan base is people that are like hate watching him. But then he became a little bit more famous when Elon Musk bought Twitter, and then they put a community note underneath his post saying that he was a paid DNC activist, to which, like, is true but isn't true. It doesn't really, yes, he's collected money from the DNC and he has been with them, but at the same time, I think he's his own character. He's playing his own game, but he's very, very much like, you cannot say anything wrong about Joe Biden. And it's really weird because like nobody's really actually that way if you're being honest with yourself. So it's strange. But I went on his TikTok live and I got in because they didn't know who I was, I guess, or they just didn't know I was somebody that would actually communicate. So basically, on the TikTok live, he'll sit there and he'll take questions or campaign issues, whatever it is, whatever subject, and debate people from the right side, apparently. And so I get on there and I started to debate him on the fact that constitutionally in the state of New Hampshire, which is our second state primary, it's in their state constitution that they abide by and allow both parties to run their primary second. They can't change that. And Biden's whole agenda of running in South Carolina as the second or as the first state because it's, half black, or he won that state and he lost the other two really bad. It doesn't matter. They're acting like you can pick and choose now. And they were like, New Hampshire didn't abide by us. That's why Joe Biden was on the ballot. And I was arguing that Joe Biden wasn't on the ballot because they didn't abide by the Constitution of the state of New Hampshire, which they should abide by because they should be abiding by abiding by all the state constitutions as well as the U.S. Constitution if they're running for president, right? And that got into a whole debate about gerrymandering and all this other weird stuff. But at the root of it, we agreed that gerrymandering was bad for everybody, which was an interesting thought. And I had kind of pushed towards the end of the conversation and said, like, so you agree that, both Democrats and Republicans should not be gerrymandering. And he did agree with that while also saying that he thinks that people should be able to campaign door to door to make sure that third parties don't get on the ballot, which is very much silencing free speech and stuff. Anyway, I got a few followers. I got a little addicted and I started watching the kid a little bit more, right? And after I got off, every other person that he put on was like Shane Gillis's dad. It's like the Fox News dad. That's the only person he was talking to. And these people would make up things like, oh, I worked on the Keystone Pipeline and because of Biden, I'm not working. And it's just things that just really bad arguments. And I started to flood the comment section and then also had a few other people that had started following me after my little debate with him to flood the comment section to express to him that basically he was just choosing straw men and that he should bring me back in so that we can debate immigration. And instead of accepting that debate, he ignored me for the next 2 hours, to which I then saw what he was doing. He gets all these donations on this TikTok live. So he actually makes money from all the Democrats that just sit there and watch him. And they think that all the people he's debating are the other side, the other 50%, and that this is just some smart kid who really likes Joe Biden. And so then he picks all these hicks to argue with, and they don't know how to debate, and they don't know how to argue, and they're not public figures. They're just blue-collar guys. They're not content creators like he is or I am. And so because there's not a lot of that on the full right, because most of the right is just working class now at this point, everybody who's arguing with just sounded completely stupid. So then you'd start getting all these donations like, oh my God, they're so racist. Oh my God, they're so stupid. And it's like, but he wouldn't put me in and have an educated debate again. Even though his numbers were increasing when I was on the live feed, he kept me off because he wasn't going to get more basically praise from his little bitch donors. So even at the lowest levels of this content creation of these little dark interwebs of the political atmosphere of content creation, I don't think that they really want to become famous or express themselves as personalities, as regular people like I am. I just want people to fucking listen to me and hear me and have fun and fucking same as any fucking comedian. like, or actor or director. But it seems like these fucking weirdos, they kind of like, they like the money more. It's strange. I don't even know where I was really going with that. Anyway, let's get into the show. First off, guys, when you're driving on the highway, there's a reason that you need to slow down. And I'm saying this to people in Florida, California, and Texas. Slow the fuck down when you see a police officer on the side of the road.
Okay, that took a long time. So here's your car back. You're suspended. Okay, I'm not taking you to jail. I'm letting you drive off. 362 City, I was just hit by a car.
That guy just like flew like a mile. Oh, what about the guy in the car? Also, what a nice police officer. He's going to like let him off with a suspended license, but then boom. Dumbass that he should have pulled over hits the car. So in France, we have liberals and conservatives, or Republicans, Democrats, basically just like red, blue. It's pretty much worldwide now. Like, got like Global Story, BBC. They're just like doing weird things about like book burning in Florida or whatever. Like, everything is just one side versus the other now, guys. It's very simple. We're getting into the globalist territory, okay? So like, all you really need to know is you're either left or right. You're either purple hair or like fucking hick fucking do. So basically, you're either these ladies throwing soup at the Mona Lisa.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a important?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a de plus important?
L'art, le droit et une alimentation saine et durable.
Notre système agricole est malade.
Les agriculteurs meurent au travail.
Un Français sur trois ne fait pas tous ses repas tous les jours.
On va vous demander d'évacuer.
On est riposte alimentaire et on demande la mise en place de la sécurité sociale et de l'alimentation durable.
Instead of like pulling them out or arresting them or like beating them up or whatever, like we do out in Miami when they do this shit, instead, like the art people just go and they just put up these black barricades and then they just tell people, move along, move along. It's like, it's so French. It's the Frenchest thing ever. So that's the blue-haired liberal side. That's the one side of the earth. Okay, so you're either one of those people, or you're one of these farmers over here in France, and the farmers protest like this. Yes, that was shit being shot up into the sky and onto an actual government building. And outside of it, that was a pile of garbage. And that pile of garbage has been there for quite some time. And the escalations are growing because now I think it was NPR this morning actually covered this in the States. Talking about how, like, it was interesting because, you know, they laughed and they giggled. They were like, what are they doing? Are they going to use their tractor to like block the street? And then like 5 minutes later, they're like, oh, this isn't the United States. So like, they're not MAGA. So they're not racist or whatever. So like, we can definitely, you know, say good for them. So the farmers are getting what they want or whatever. Right. Right. So what do the soup people want? Well, the soup people want the planet to be clean. All right? Clean of fucking the shit that's being thrown at the government building. And what do the farmers want? Well, they just want to farm their plants and not have a bunch of different protocols pushed onto them by the government. So the blue-haired ladies want the government to regulate the farmers that are throwing shit at the buildings to stop the farmers from throwing shit at the buildings. Got it. See, I just solved all of French politics. It was pretty damn simple. So next up, we got this whole, oh my God, 3 soldiers died. That means we need to escalate this into a world war. Like, why aren't we escalating this into World War III already? What's going on? Type of deal in America. Like, 3 people died. They were soldiers. They do deserve a lot more respect than a lot of the funny ass shit I'm about to show you from these fucking weirdos. But I will say this. This narrative was literally played out during the pullback in Afghanistan. And for some reason, we all just forgot that this ever happened. Like, it's ridiculous. There was literally the same thing where they killed a man or something while we were trying to get people out. And they were like, oh, they killed a soldier. They killed a soldier. Joe Biden, you got to bomb somebody. They killed a soldier. And then Blinken does basically the same thing he did here, and he does this.
We've been very clear in warning that anyone looking to take advantage of conflict in the Middle East and try to expand it, don't do it. We've taken steps to defend ourselves and to defend our partners, as well as to prevent escalation. And the President's been crystal clear. We will respond decisively to any aggression. And we will hold responsible the people who attacked our troops. We'll do so at a time and a place of our choosing.
We will do it at a time of our choosing. Yeah. All of that. And then you got all the Republicans that are like, you got to do it now. We got to do it now. We got to blow up everybody. Nuke them. And we're like, we're just going to do it at a time of our choosing. And then like in 3 days, I'm calling it, like maybe even 2, we'll hear some like weird report by most of the mainstream media, Al Jazeera it'll come out of, or like, The Guardian or some shit. And they'll be like, U.S. government reports that they shot a drone at this person that was supposed to be like amazing and like a president of like an area or whatever. Like, we killed the guy that did it to kill the 3 people. The end. And then everybody goes, yay, we killed the Buddha Baka Baka Bogu. We all knew who he was, right? Yeah, we're just going to all act ignorant and whatever. And then in like 3 days, Ben Shapiro and his gang are going to be like, actually, that was a guy just like going in to like get some water. Because it's literally what happened in Afghanistan, people. That was just some guy going in to get some water. And it was a school. And I don't even think that they actually killed any terrorists. I think they just killed a bunch of people. And then we all just go, oh, well, what about Ukraine? What about thee? So we've been here before, all right? I don't want to laugh at it, but it's absolutely ridiculous to me that the Secretary of State, when asked about the dead soldiers, responds like this.
Has the president called already, or does he plan to speak with the families of the fallen service members?
Don't have any calls to read out. Obviously, and as Kirby started off this briefing, obviously the president and first lady sent out their deepest condolences and heartfelt thoughts to the families, to their friends, and also the units, their unit as well. And this is a sad day. Yesterday was a very, very sad day for not just their family and the units and the friends, but also the American people. And so obviously we continue to mourn with them. Once we have more to share about a call or outreach, certainly we will let you all know.
But trust me, that's not even the worst of it. Because then like later in the day, she tries to like go, I think it's on Meet the Press or something, and tries to do this all over again and messes it up even worse.
But I will say our deepest condolences go out, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the families who lost three folks who are military folks, who are brave, who are always fighting, who are fighting on behalf of this administration, of the American people. Obviously, more importantly, we lost those souls.
It's bad. It was bad. And if you're gonna bury that one on yourself, shame on you. Because wow, what a dummy. Where do we go now? Okay. So now it's time for that election. You know, the election that was already over but isn't over because, like, Nikki Haley said it isn't over because, like, she's bought out by the Koch brothers. Nikki Haley, clearly Democrat here, trying to tell us all that the reason we were locked in our homes in 2020 was because Trump is like an authoritarian ruler. Like, what the hell?
Is Donald Trump's trying to control more. That's what worries me. He's trying. We saw this during COVID, where he controlled the fact what we could do, when we could do, how we could do it. Now he's going and proposing this tax on all American goods, from baby strollers to appliances. That's taking away our financial freedom.
If you truly believe that the reason that 2020 you were locked inside was because of the Republicans and Donald Trump, I just, please, can we? I know we're going a mile a minute. I know that, like, we all got our cell phones and we're all TikToked out and it's all about what's next. It's totally fine that you guys all forgot about Afghanistan and the whole, like, democratic response of the Joe Biden team of being like, we will respond in an appropriate manner. Look, we blew him up. Wait a minute. You shot up some school kids instead. Anyway, at least with this one, guys. If you don't, you can ignore the vaccine stuff. That's fine. You can ignore the economy stuff, and you can even say the Republicans were the economy. I'll even give you that. I don't even know why, because it makes no sense and it's a complete lie. But the one that you, please, just for the sanity of the rest of us in the world, please, just remember the Democratic mayors. Remember the supervillains, the Chicago mayor, the New York mayor, the governor of New York, who, like, touched the back of some woman, and so then we decided that was the same as Harvey Weinstein. Just one thing. These supervillains definitely kept us inside. The Republicans in Florida and Texas were completely fine. Nobody was locked down. If we're going to now try to spin this into Trump locking us down, I don't even know where the show goes. Where does the show go? If that's where we go, where does the show go? I'm so confused. But you know who's not confused? This guy, who's at a Nikki Haley event and clearly knows that she's bought for.
Only way we will get that done. None of us want new wars. None of us want new wars.
You're the one influencing this. You're the problem. This Uni-Party that we all talk about, which is funny because now that's a word. Uni-Party is a word. It's a word used even in the mainstream media, which, remember, again, mainstream media, or even MSM, was never a thing before Donald Trump. Fake news was never a thing before Donald Trump. These were things that he said, and then they built truths off of. They created truth in things that he was just shitting out. And now here we are. It's pretty crazy. But here's another one. Nikki Haley. She's part of the Uni-Party. The Uni-Party is this donor class. Okay, so get this. The New York Times and their podcast, The Daily, okay? Their big story today was looking at the Trump voters versus the Nikki donors. They absolutely opened up the box and said, hey, yeah, you know what's inside? Just Democrat billionaires. But now we get into the good old fight. Oh, my. $83 million in the first Trump court case. Yeah. E. Jean Kelly here. Or Gene Kelly. Ojo Kelly. I don't know. We're allowed to make fun of her because we don't fucking know a bitch. I mean, she'll probably sue me too, but I don't know. But wait. Why is it that E. Jean Kelly or Cooley or Collie or Cocky or Cunty is doing this whole thing anyway?
Right now, the polls suggest it's a coin flip. It's very close. Have you heard from Joe Biden's campaign arm about potentially campaigning against the former President Donald Trump?
No.
Are you interested in doing so?
Do anything I can.
Wow. Pretty audacious, right? Pretty audacious to be like, I will do anything I can. I will suck out all of his campaign money, all of his personal finance. I am E. Jean Kelly, and I call rocks vaginas. Okay. So, E. Jean Kelly or Cooley or Collie or whatever, and all this nonsense going on with that. That's the first case that we lost. Man, we're already down 83 million people. I don't know how we're going to do it. Again, money doesn't matter. None of us are making any money anymore. But hey, let's act like it mattered, right? Why does all of this matter? Well, it all matters because Trump likes to bully women.
I agree it's a long shot, probably virtually impossible for her to win, but I love seeing somebody not being bullied, not letting someone bully them. And Donald Trump in particular loves to bully women, so I'm just proud of Nikki for standing strong.
Women cry. Women are sad. Women complain and want to be at work but also be at home at the same damn time. Women are basically all schizophrenic. They are 100% the worst sex. Men rule. Men are awesome. Deal with it. This is a joke brought to you by Alex Wagner. Don't, kill me or make me a, misogynist or whatever. I'm already one because I'm just a guy and now I'm not dating somebody, so I'm automatically misogynist, right? Probably, I think that's how that works. But what does Trump think of Nikki Haley?
She's almost a radical left Democrat, which is hard to win elections like that, but it's like they use certain things as like a Trojan horse in the Republican primaries. Haley made a corrupt deal to sell out to the radical left, taking the Democrat money from donors and recruited all the votes.
Okay, so Nikki Haley is a Trojan horse, and yeah, that's probably the easiest and simplest way to sum that up. Everything else I said, completely null and void now. Nikki Haley, Trojan horse, the end. But why are people voting for Trump anyway? Is it because he hates Nikki Haley, or he's really good at dissing her, or his rap tracks, or, the jokes from the liberals that are going to come back out about the Cheetos? He's got an orange face. Well, maybe it's this.
Has he made mistakes? Oh, my goodness, yes. But I do believe that his heart's in the right place for me. How many presidents, how many politicians have come out on stage and hugged the American flag? That really means something to me.
Trump loves America, and America butt fucks Trump. So, Joe Biden's campaign manager is willing to talk about things that Joe Biden's not willing to talk about, and Joe Biden's going to wake up America.
Joe Biden gets up every day thinking about how to work for the American people, and he actually gets stuff done. Donald Trump wakes up every day and thinks about himself. He thinks about revenge. He thinks about retribution, and that is a real problem.
If Joe Biden's going to wake up America, let's see his response to, say, the border.
Asylum officers and over 100 cutting-edge inspection machines to help detect and stop fentanyl coming out our southwest border.
Okay, well, since we don't know what's going on from him at the border, maybe we should check in with the head Democrat in the House of Representatives. Maybe he can interpret Biden language and tell us what Biden is doing. And Hakeem Jeffries, go.
That's something that you and House Democrats support, the shutting down of the border.
Well, I'd have to understand the context within which, the president is speaking based on whatever authority he may be given. The president, of course, I believe will always do what he believes is in the best interest of the American people, consistent, with the fact that America is a safe haven.
Okay, so he doesn't know what's going on at the border either. Great. I don't think anyone on the chili throwing at the Mona Lisa, I hate the ground because the ground moved, cow shit's awesome or whatever side is understanding how to fix the border. Here's Joe Biden talking about current President Trump.
Let me tell you who else is noticing that. Donald Trump. Did you see what he recently said about that he wants to see the economy crash this year? A sitting president. As they say in my face, bless me, Father.
Why are we listening to NPR? That's basically like there's like 3 people in a radio station somewhere that are like, nuh-uh, Joe Biden's president. Like, just have Trump just go in and just become president. Like, is there anybody even running this operation anymore? I really don't think so. They're not even responding to anything anyway. They're just kind of sitting around and fumbling over their words. And even the press secretary can't even apologize to soldiers. She's like, the folks. The folks. The end. So I don't think it would really be that hard to just honestly, like, without even any kind of pushback, just walk in and be like, I'm sorry, guys, we're in charge today. Sorry. And they're like, why? It's like, because we changed the rules today and done. So I guess we found out that not just Jon Stewart, but also Jay Leno, as well as Rob Reiner and every other person that ever existed in Hollywood is somehow in constant need of hating Trump because they watch too much 6 p.m. news. Where do these people even get this news anymore? There is no news. There's just apps. And the only thing that we stream on them is football games and the Royal Rumble. But that's it. So, like, what are we doing here? It's like, this isn't a UFC event. How are these people getting these live streams? Are they, like, going into a doctor's office and, like, retaining this information from propaganda and spewing it back out into society? How in the hell are they still so duped?
What do you think of this phenomenon of Trump, the politician?
I'm not a fan. I think he has like this thing where they want to restrict him on the ballot. I'm against that because that could turn against you. You could use it for whatever.
It's anti-democratic.
Right, it's anti-democratic. I mean, if the people want that person as president, that's fine. I mean, I'm not a fan. It has nothing to do with politics. I just don't think morally. I think we could do a little bit better. All these indictments, whatever it might be. You know, I just stopped doing politics and my act altogether because, you know, when I did the Tonight Show, the idea was you made fun of both sides equally, and you get those, Miss Leno, you and your Republican friends, well, Miss Leno, you and your Democratic buddies, you know, and they'd both be angry. And I go, oh, that's good. You know, they both think you're supporting the other guy. Now you've got to take a side, and people are angry if you don't. And I find what I would start to tell a political joke. Well, they want to know the punchline before, is this pro or against it? You know, so I just stopped doing it.
Really?
Because I just want people to come and laugh and have a good time.
The Doped. And now it's time for my favorite quote of the day. Donald Trump talking about Joe Biden gaslighting America.
Biden is trying to gaslight the American public by claiming that his border disaster is Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. Look at these great people, all big shot politicians. It's your fault.
Donald Trump sounded like some TikTok lady. He gaslit me, and I'm a Gemini, and I'll speak the truth. What is Trump? What are these horoscopes? I'm a Scorpio, so I'm like, I'm a Pisces, so I just feel too much. I just feel too much. That's me. I'm an actual Pisces. I'm a fucking fish. I feel like fish is the gayest one of all of them. Last video. I bid you a fair due after this one. And this is a doozy, okay? If we were going to say this was the moment of Zen, it could be the moment of Zen, but then we get sued probably because the show's way fucking better than whatever this goddamn goofball's going to ever put out. And Harry Sasso, fucking see me on TikTok Live. If you know Harry Sasso, call him out. Say Alex R. Wagner wants to fucking debate you on immigration. Tear your ass apart. because I don't even know what he would even debate on that subject, because as we saw, there is no debate on the weird Mona Lisa side of things. But the shit spewers are doing really well right now. So go farming shit spewers. And here is the biggest shit spewer, Mr. Ben Shapiro, with his friend, his dorky Republican friend. Because, like, I love, this is the thing with these people. They're like, I'm not really about the politics, and I'm not Republican and stuff, but I'm just, like, here to support Trump and wear a MAGA hat and say that, you know, First America Bank is amazing and you should buy Jeremy's razors. Also, drink AG1. Be a real man and do it. Also, subscribe to Tucker Uncensored. Tucker Uncensored. No, I'm not going to. No. Tucker's good. Tucker's good. But these other guys, this Todd guy, this Ben guy, doing this weird rap. This is where rap's got. This is where rap has gone, people. This is where rap has gone.
They call me offensive, controversial. It's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
It's just so dorky. It's just so... It's like, it's too much. It's like listening to Eminem's Mosh today. You're like, that's not what I want to do. Like, play Without Me. Don't play Mosh. Don't play Mosh, bro. Just stay out of it. And then this Todd guy, like, his whole thing is Mosh. He's like, a Mosh now or die every day for Trump, bro. And then Ben Shapiro comes in literally with his, like, impersonation of, like, autistic logic. That's the only thing I could call this. This is logic / autism. Go.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison. I'm on television. Dog, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
I mean, he's sort of killing it, but again, like any kind of political song, it's just so cringe. Cause like that Nikki Haley song they were playing on the Daily. Oh,
it's a real earworm. I listened to it yesterday, and I have to say I did wake up today with, you know, "We Need You, Nikki" right now still stuck in my head.
Isn't it cool?
I was gonna ask, can I hear some of the rap? Can you drop a little for us right now?
No, I'm not sure I can because I don't have it all in my. I know it sticks in your ear. We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki.
There we go.
Somehow lead the conversation.
Who's playing these songs in their cars? I want to see it. I want to see someone like bumping some Ben Shapiro or bumping this like Nikki Haley like band jam in their car. Like some billionaire in a Rolls Royce being like, Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley.
We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki, no doubt. Be the conversation.
And then it's I can tell you this part of the rap. It's Trump, the bully, who's afraid of a fight against 5-inch heels with twice his might.
And Biden, who's dying to drain our reserves. When voters come out, he'll get his deserves.
That's it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I got some shouts, some shout outs, some things that I need to tell you all. So at some point next week, we will see the January episode of the 312 podcast, a Chicago Love Letter. I will also in that podcast be talking a lot about my recent run of a marathon. I ran a marathon. What? And then on top of that, I will be on a podcast called Adventures with Jake, which is all about doing outdoor adventures, crazy, wild things. He interviews, everybody from snake tamers to people that hunt anacondas to people that do like crazy skiing off of mountain cliffs or whatever. I don't know. All kinds of weird shit. But I will be on that podcast probably at the end of February, third week of February. So I'll be promoting that as well. And you should check that out. And that's it. This is it. I had to do No News is News before I could even do the 312 podcast. And I still got to do the 312 in February, which we'll probably do that episode around Valentine's Day. Maybe we'll do like a little Valentine's Day theme on that one. But I had to do more No News is News because the news is the news and there is no news. I'm Alex R. Wagner, and this has been No News is News. No news. And Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley.
I think it's just a fucking sky,